Well, hello, everybody. Coming to you here on a Monday. Array Onra, the Dragon Lady, coming to you live. I just was inspired today, and that's what we're doing now. We're being in flow. We're going with what feels right. And man, I had some really interesting awarenesses come as I started tuning into the energy, getting dressed and feeling like, whoa, what's going on here? But first I want to go into my share because, as you guys know, I was gone last week and I got to go into the wilderness, and I always love doing that because I never know when I'm going to get to find a wild dragon to play with or one to activate or awaken. And this was a surprising sort of wondrous experience that I want to share. And so let's just backtrack to having the opportunity to go into Yosemite. If some of you around the world don't know where that is, it's a national park here in California, Central California. Big granite dome. So Half Dome is the most famous part of that. As well as El Capitan, which has been climbed. It's a 3,000, I think, vertical foot sheer face that is great for climbers and has been in many documentaries and movies. It's a spectacular place, and they have had, and hello, Andrea, can you just give me a thumbs up if you definitely have sound on your end, because I've been having trouble with the connectors and don't want to talk on and on and on if you guys can't hear me. So somebody give me a thumbs up now that I see some joiners here live, and I'll continue on with my story. So going into Yosemite is just, it's magical. And even though it's super crowded, it's hard to get in. For backpacking, you have to get a wilderness permit. Reservations, like if you don't get it 6 or 7 months ahead, you're not usually going to get something unless you're willing to just take whatever last minute that was a cancellation. So really enjoyed, even though it's crowded. One of the hikes, and what I was saying before, is the water this year. So paying attention to the element of water. I feel like it's significant in my experience, so I want to talk a little bit about water, because water is where our crystalline DNA expansion is, right? So the water dragons, that lineage is the heart lineage, the love line within us, and that lineage includes the crystal dragon and on upward into the diamond dragons. And so when we hold that frequency, when we're moving into that, our ascension journey is all about the water. This year, the water in Yosemite, and I'm still waiting for a thumbs up if you guys can hear me. I've got a few, I see a few people listening. I would love to have some kind of a signal from you or comment that you can definitely hear me, that my mic is working, please. Somebody, I see several of you there. Anyway, the water was pumping this year. It is the highest recorded snowfall in Yosemite ever. So the park was very late to open. Typically, Tioga Pass Road is open early June. It opened the last week of July, and we were by the skinny, thank you, Holger, by the skinny of our teeth, got through because that's the road we needed for our wilderness permits to go in the backcountry. But in the valley floor, I've never seen the waterfalls so big. That was part of the reason I was super excited to go, was to see them in this record level water flowing. And it hit me later of why that's so significant, because we're in an activation period. We're in an activation period with our crystalline DNA of moving into diamond. So when I tell you this story, it actually knocks my socks off even more in hindsight, right? So we did the Vernal Falls Trail. And you can look that up and see pictures, and I will share a picture later. But the Vernal Falls Trail is a nice, easy 1.5 mile round trip hike. It's like just over 3/4 of a mile up to the lower footbridge. And right around there, you can see the falls, but it's still a bit further to go. And the section beyond the footbridge is called the Mist Trail. And when you go along the Mist Trail, you're actually close enough to feel misted by the falls, especially when it's a big water year. And there's what's called the Devil's Staircase, which is literally like, I don't know how many hundreds of steps up to get to the top. And I wasn't going to push my boys to do that. I have a 9-year-old, and that's a little bit much of a expectation on my part for him to want to do voluntarily, willingly, with excitement. So I thought, we'll just do the footbridge. It'll be great. They can see the falls. Well, then after we had a snack, I said, okay, I'm not going to ask you to do the trail, but I would like you to see it. I want you to go and experience and see what the mist trail is about. Just get a visual of it. And of course, begrudgingly, just, I'm tired, I don't want to do it. And so what was very interesting, and I think what was being inspired partly by my guides and by the dragons that were up there, is we got just a little bit further from the footbridge. And we got up to where you could see the falls and start feeling the mist. And he turned to me and said, Mom, we're going to the top. I said, okay. So he and my older son just started going like mountain goats straight up, and I had a hard time catching and keeping up with them. It was so much water that the mist was more like being rained on. We were literally soaked by the time we got to the top, but it was 90 some degrees, so it was wonderfully refreshing, and you dry off really quickly. And I had noticed and stopped for some pictures on the way up, because as you're going in the mist, there's constant rainbows around the waterfall, and especially around the front portion of it where there's this green grass. It's just magical, right? And your imagination can go wild, but then my heart started going wild. And it was really on the way down when I had an opportunity, because they were going a little bit slower and they were still ahead of me, but I was like, no, I'm taking my time going down the steps, because down is a little more scary than up sometimes, right? All these steep, super steep rock stairs that are wet and lots of people going back and forth. So what I wanted to share with you guys was, as I came down and I stopped in this one section, because I just felt this heart pull of moving into this space, and I could feel these diamond rainbow dragons playing in the water. And they were just making themselves known to me. And there were so many, but there were 3 rainbows. It was, and I don't think I got a photo of the triple rainbow because I was just in the moment, right? But there was a triple rainbow laying out, and it was the first time I had seen I'd seen a double, but to have a triple lay out before me, I was just mesmerized and in awe, and I felt my heart just being really, really hit. And it was so playful, and I knew the diamond rainbow dragons were there. And if any of you guys have seen the movie Raya and the Last Dragon, or Raya, however you want to say it, just like my name, Araya, it depends what country I'm in. At the end of the movie, go back and watch the very last bit, even when all the credits come up. When the dragons are, and they nailed it. I love how the graphic artist nailed it in that movie. The dragons are released, and they're playing in the sky, and they're bouncing up like invisible clouds and puffs of something that they're landing on. They're just boom, 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 going up in the sky and climbing and dropping and swooping. And it was very reminiscent energetically of that experience. So if you've seen that movie, this is what I'm trying to describe. The playfulness, the energy, the exuberance, the excitement of being seen, because I've been there before, but it was not the same energy. And it was not the same level of water, and it was not the same level of crystalline activation that the planet is now undergoing. So I feel like their presence there was a real indicator of the opening of the veils and the opening to that higher octave of resonance that we're ready to receive. So I just stood there just being flabbergasted and in wonder and expansion of my heart space. And then I finally had to turn around and keep going to catch my voice. But it was one of those experiences. That's why I've created this group. You know, we've got For the Love of Dragons as this group, as this family sphere where we can share these kinds of things and help others to, one, know they're not crazy, but 2, recognize the opportunity for experience rather than moving on, going through. And when they start feeling that energy in their body, paying attention to it, stopping and soaking up that moment and soaking up the experience or the connection with the dragon that's where you are, wherever you might be. It could be at a beach, it can be out on a mountain, it can be in your backyard. I will tell you, when I first bought this property, it's been 4 years now, I recognized it by there's a giant sequoia tree out front that's probably 80 to 100 years old. His name's Rogario. He's absolutely amazing energetically. And that's the first thing that caught my eye off the street. And when I went in the backyard, really nice large backyard, there's a portal, there's a vortex in the very center of it, and there was a dragon connected with that vortex. I thought, okay, this is my property. And sure enough, everything lined up like, boom, 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 boom. This is your house. So when we're not paying attention to the energetics, what our body is feeling, really tuning in on the deep level when we're out having those experiences, like I could have just been totally thronged by the crowd and, you know, kept going down, looking frantic, sort of looking for my boys or needing a snack or just realizing I'm hot or whatever. But when I could feel, well, there's something shifting, something's opening energetically in my heart space, it made me stop, start turning towards the waterfall, opening and on another level to the mist, because the mist was already hitting me. And it was refreshing and it was cooling me down because it was very, very hot. But it was the fifth dimensional quality, that higher quantum field that was behind the mist, that was really making me tingle and really making me open that. Yeah, these magic moments, waterfalls, awesome. So just allowing that's why we're here. So you guys don't maybe get to come on live in my group, but please post every time you have experiences like that. I would love to see 90% of the posts be about that rather than all the beautiful pendants or carvings or things that you find that are dragon artwork that's being done. Those are great too, because people get inspired and do their own creations from that. But really, this is about sharing our experiences. This is about activating everybody through something in their own body framework that's going to open you to that next level. So moving from that, because I really wanted to share that, and I will share a photo post in after I'm done here that shows the waterfall and as many of the rainbows as I caught. I'll try and find the best photo. But when I tuned in today, because I always, as I share with you guys, I always tune in, stand in my closet and just feel like, all right, what's coming around me? And I had this very unusual feeling of purple and white, and the white was like a webbing and overlaid over the purple. And I was like, that's really interesting. What do I have in my closet? Do I have anything in my closet that matches that? And sure enough, I was drawn immediately to this white sort of lacy kind of shirt and a purple one underneath it. And then I was reaching for my dragon pendants, because I usually put one of those on, and it was, nope, go amethyst. It's amethyst. And I kept thinking, well, is this the white dragon? Because it feels subtly different, but it's very, very white. And then as I went and I looked at the artwork and I felt, all right, here's the amethyst dragon. And I looked up and there was the moon dragon staring at me. And I thought, it's you. It's the moon dragon energy. So we've got amethyst and moon dragon energy supporting us today. That's very, very interesting, because that's very, very soft. So last week here I had this experience, and we'll just touch into the deck really quick. The diamond rainbow dragon, which was, I'm trying to think what day we were hiking that. Let's see. It was Wednesday. So last Wednesday, I had the Diamond Rainbow Dragon. The diamond rainbows are inversion, doorways, and possibility. That is the frequency that's pulling us into the next portals, into the next level of our ascension. So here, why is everything shifted into this really soft space? And how are the amethyst and the moon dragon so supportive of each other, where here's the moon dragon is overlaid over the amethyst. Amethyst is a deep earth, or an inner earth dragon, right? So we've got amethyst in Middle Earth, and we've got the moon above the earth. Woo! That's even speaking to me now with more information. So what is happening very soon, a week from tomorrow, is August 8th, the Lion's Gate. And when we go through that, as you guys may have seen, these beautiful posts from Marlene Oman-Ra. She's one of my Dragon Hearts. She's gone through the Quantum Flight program, and she's now accelerated into her Dharmic purpose has unlocked, and she is doing activations globally, starting with this first one, that are aligning the fifth dimensional chakras of Gaia into our own bodies and activating that grid around the planet. So she's called with that. My work is going to shift into including, it's time now for the activations of the 12 heart chakras of the dragons of Mu physically on the planet. And they're okay. So she's doing an activation on the 8/8. So that's going to be, and I want to say it's the sacral chakra. I need to double check that, but it's on Table Mountain in Cape Town. It's going to affect all of us. 8 is already huge. This Lion's Gate is really, really big. What's exciting that I will share with you is that my dragon hearts, another one of them is connected to an 8-pointed energetic geometric grid that's around the atmospheric realm of Gaia. It's connected to the crystalline core, and that's coming online finally. We've known about it and her role in it for 3 years now at least. And it was shown that this is finally coming online. All 8 are in position and ready. And so when that activates, what that's going to do is actually open up or drop the entire veil of New Earth, like into New Earth, that veil between 3D and 5D will be completely dissolved. And all of the whether you want to call it the grid, portals, whatever, New Earth will be fully accessible and fully open, where it's ready. And we're those that are ready to move like fully into that, boom, it's there. It's going to be going. So next week is going to be very, very big. And I'll probably try to come on live that day, whether to do a meditation or just share a transmission or just talk about what unfolded in that. If you want to align energetically, 8 a.m. that morning Pacific Standard Time is when we're going to be meeting, linking up with all my dragon hearts to do that. And so how are we prepping now? So what is this purple and white energy? Why the amethyst and the moon dragon? So let's look in the deck on those cards so that you guys can pull your own decks out and read the descriptions to get more information from it. And if you don't have your deck yet, then you definitely listen up here, or maybe you want to get one. Go to dragonwithin.com/layer, LAIR, to get your beautiful dragon deck. And they have been really, really rolling out lately. I love that Magenta Pixie shared in her Telegram. It really touched me deeply that she shared with someone looking for a Dragon Oracle deck that the one she's been using is mine. Isn't that beautiful? So Amethyst Dragon, calm, rejuvenation, elixir of life. Just breathe that in. Calm, rejuvenation, elixir of life. That's when you need the spa day. That's I need to take a breath. I need to take a time out for myself. I need my mental sanity day. I need to stop and breathe and take it in. Just like I did on the trail. You feel the inkling, you stop, you take it in. And then the moon dragon is that embrace, yielding, and grace. That's that feminine quality that's overlaying it. What I saw today was literally like this white netting, the moon sort of netting around that spa day, to go into that spa day, but not just like go to be rejuvenated, but to actually yield and open to the grace that is flowing in with the divine feminine energies. I feel it's so supportive and so soft. And I thought, wow, this is really interesting, because I don't always pay attention to where the moon cycles are until there's like other stuff aligning. Then I go, oh, I better check that out. So of course I go on after I look at those to look at, all right, where's the next, what moon cycle are we in? And it's going to be full moon tomorrow. And I went, ding, 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 of course it's full moon tomorrow. This is why these energies are here, to move into that moon energy. Thank you, Lisa. I'm grateful that you enjoy it. I do find it powerful, and I do send out a transmission with each deck ordered. I don't know if everybody realizes that. When you order a deck and I'm sending out, I hold the package and I do a transmission directly for the person that's receiving it for your expansion journey, that it moves specifically with your energy. So that's something special that makes it a little extra powerful when it comes to you. But this moon energy, we're moving into full moon. What an ideal, perfect alignment. Exactly 1 week before Lionsgate, coming off of where we've been with the, not only the summer solstice, but then the July 7th activation. We've had huge things lining up, moving us forward. So just bringing in that other piece of, all right, we've got this softness around us. Take advantage of the soft energy. Take advantage of taking a time out, a breath in. Go and look up at that moon. Connect with that moon dragon tomorrow or today. Like, you've got the 24 hours before and after to really be in the full flow of the energy. But she's presenting today with the amethyst dragon. What is that? That's pulling in. This ties into the activation on the 8th, because it's the moon dragon that is above our atmospheric field and the amethyst dragon that's in the middle earth, and opening and pulling that softness of energy, that divine feminine, all the way through it. Soft to counter all the Leo fire. Absolutely, because Lionsgate is going to be full on. We've got Solar Dragon fire. We've got Leo Dragon. We've got this handoff going between the dragons and the Lyrans and this full aboard flow. So yes, absolutely, Lisa. Softening, not just to counter, but more to, like, to balance, right? It's not about countering it and butting against or saying, oh, no, we're going to balance it. It's about balancing. It's about coming into union, merge. Our ascension journey is about our movement into divine union and merge. So here's the softness, that reminder to move into yielding, embrace. Where can I yield and open more? Where can I take that time out for me that I need for rejuvenation to step into the elixir of life that feeds me deeply? I don't know about you guys, but the only thing that feeds me deeply is when I can connect into those higher octave realms, particularly with the dragons, with my dragon self, and feel the magic and feel that, because it's what makes it possible to get through the density and the chaos of this realm as we ascend beyond it, as we move into a greater capacity to remember ourselves, step into ourselves, merge with ourselves, which is what the Quantum Flight program is about. So I'll just touch on that really quickly since it's coming in. All of these pieces for these dragon hearts that I've mentioned are because they've stepped into who they be. They have learned how to wear the mantle of themselves. They've learned how to merge energetically with that dragon core. So this is really only for those that are dragon hearts, dragon riders, dragon shepherds. Those that are dragon at their core find me. And they find me because I am that guide to take them into that next level where, boom, as you merge with that aspect, with that soul level, light body dragon aspect of yourself, that's when you step into who you really be and you start living actually as you in your full essence in every moment. And for many of those on the path, like for years, I didn't know what I was supposed to do with the information. I didn't know what I was supposed to do with my healing gifts or my channeling gifts, my reading gifts. A lot of you guys have amazing gifts. You're like, I don't know what to do with it yet. I feel like something's coming on, but it's because there's still some veil. There's still some pieces between you and your full soul level light body that the dragons are here to help remove. And by initiating and activating those, that's what we do for 8 weeks. I don't know if you guys realize that the original way the Dragonheart program was 8 months. It was actually the very first year, it was 9. And I shortened it to 8. And then after several years, the dragons said, all right, the timeline has accelerated. There's no need to do 8 months of this anymore. We're going to push the energetics through. People are ready to receive the initiations and the activations in 8 weeks. So let's redesign this. Call it Quantum Flight. Okay. So that's what we did. I've run 2 programs. I have not done one yet this year. I thought my memory just like time is irrelevant anymore. So I was thinking it was last January. It was actually the previous January that I had done one. And it was last fall that I did another one. So now moving into this one, we start September 26th. We run through November 21st, and you're going to go, wait, that's 9 weeks. Because we take a week off somewhere in there to integrate. A lot happens in 8 weeks, and 3-4 weeks in, we take a break, and then we come back and we do 3 or 4 more until we get through the whole 8 weeks. But it's just magic. I mean, it's amazing to watch it unfold, because where I've gone in my journey, and you guys have seen this if you've been watching my lives for any amount of time. If I look back on a live I did 4 and 5 years ago, it's like watching a totally different person. And as I've aligned unto myself and you guys have watched that transition, that's also a guidepost and a assist for you guys to unfold with that so that your own activation and unfolding happens. But my guides have been consistently moving me into trust, deeper levels of trust, and being in that flow of the information that's coming through in the moment. Because my higher self always knows what needs to be shared, what needs to be talked about. Even like, I'll tell you guys 1 minute before, maybe even 30 seconds before I come on for a live, I might have a topic or a question, but I haven't really sat with, all right, what about that? Whereas in the past, I might have had notes, I might have been really thinking about it and prepped, and they're like, no preparation. The best stuff is what comes through naturally, what you might call off the cuff, but it's off the heart. It's coming through that heart space because I'm connected into my higher self, and that's what's wanting to be shared. So my classroom time has shifted dramatically to, yeah, there are pieces that I know need to be shared, but they're not in any specific order, and they come through with so much more current information wanting to reveal itself as we're in group, just like it does sometimes on these lives when there's something coming and you feel that transmission from me. You feel something shift in my energetic field where I'm fully present as Tana, and it unlocks, and it unlocks something in you. So that's the whole magic of doing this together. It's why I'm here. If the Quantum Flight program calls you at a heart level, go on, and I will add to the description. I didn't have the link on my phone. I will add the link for the applications, because that's the first step. What does the application do? The application is the slowing down enough to dive into some really deep questions that make you really interpret that heart call, that make you really step forward and go, yes, this is where I need to go. And it lines you through that. And then we do a call. I call it an interview call. It's really an opportunity to go through and make sure it's an energetic match, that you're energetically ready, and that we go through all your questions and all the details. But it's an amazing process. And I will say I'm excited because I've got interviews lined up all this week. We have the Cornerstone member who's set the foundation, being the first one in last week. And I'm excited. The group that's coming together, I think I talked about it before, is the completion team. And it's, what I do is send out a pulse. And that pulse goes out to everyone we're already in the sphere working together. Those that are in that sphere we're already working together. Some people say, what's really weird is you're in my dream space after I send the application in, even before you contacted me for the interview call. I said, yeah, that happens because we're already there. And our physicality is just catching up to that. This is always the slowest business part. It always catches up to the energy. Energy body's way out ahead of us. We've already been working together. And so it's just aligning you to that and then letting you feel that pulse call at a heart level of, I got to go there. That's my next step. So if that's your next step, I hope you'll fill out an application so we can pull you directly into that sphere. And if you guys have questions, isn't that funny, Jennifer? And your call is tomorrow. I love that. And it's so funny because it's nothing I ever do consciously. It's absolutely 100% like just what is happening with our soul level contracts and us coming together again in this realm to complete them. So loving that. And if you have other questions, maybe you're brand new on your journey and you're like, I'm not ready for a quantum flight anything, but I'm ready to maybe like learn about a book or meditation or how do I work with the dragons? Send me your questions. I love to do those on these lives because our family is at all different levels. Every family has toddlers and high school kids, right? Or college graduates. And we go through all the different phases that we're ready to embrace all stages and all phases because the information, the tools are all available here for you. All right. So get those applications in and enjoy my little, I will share the picture of the rainbow mist and those rainbow dragons that I got to experience, and really take advantage of the amethyst and the moon dragon energies with you today. Call them in tonight as you experience the full moon, either tonight or tomorrow night where you live, and just bask in that. Allow them to be what rejuvenates you. That amethyst dragon can come in and literally make you feel from the inside out like a new person, like you've been to the massage parlor and the spa all day, and it's a lot less expensive. So we will see you next time. Much love to everybody. Giant dragon hugs. Bye for now.